What's up, Bachelor Nation? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel, Batch Buzz. Today, I'm going to be recapping the second episode of The Bachelor Presents Listen to Your Heart. So, the first thing that we see is Chris Harrison gathering everyone together and saying that there's going to be some newcomers this week. And he gives a first date card to them, and Jamie got the date. Jamie picks her date with Trevor, and they go out. They go to Venice Beach with plans to perform on the boardwalk. They plan the way that they're going to sing together. They talk a little bit about what got them into singing and songwriting. Jamie talks a little bit about her insecurities. Trevor helps her out with that. They sing, they make out, and they have a big moment, and boom, they kiss in front of everybody. And then right when Jamie says that she can't see anything going wrong with Trevor, we get a little cut back to the house where the first person comes in, new to this week, and it's Natasha. Natasha says that she's looking for her husband and her baby daddy, and she isn't a diva, but at the same time, she is a diva. We see Mel get a little bit intimidated by Natasha, who is a Chilean and French pop singer who sings both in French and Spanish. And Natasha reveals to everybody that she does know Trevor because she's friends with his ex and that she's heard a lot of, quote, things about him. So Natasha reveals to us that she knows that her friend and Trevor broke up, not because of one thing or another, but because of indiscretions. And she's saying all kinds of things about how Trevor's not a good guy, and she doesn't even know if he'll own up to the cheating, quote unquote. So then we go back to the date that Jamie and Trevor are on, and we see them talking about their past relationships, and Jamie saying that she's been cheated on by all of her exes, and Trevor saying that he and his ex broke up because they weren't compatible, but he doesn't mention anything about cheating. So then we cut back to the house, and Natasha says that if Trevor has no problem cheating on a girl he was in a 2-year intense relationship with, what is he going to do after only knowing Jamie for a few days? So then the minute that Jamie and Trevor get back, Natasha immediately calls him out and doesn't even give him a chance to get settled after his date before explaining to him that she knows who he is, she knows what he did, and he needs to own up to Jamie. While all of this is going on, the girls are explaining to Jamie what's going on, what the tea is, and how they're not sure of what to believe because they just met Natasha and they feel like they know Trevor a lot better. So then Jamie's getting emotional and she's really upset because, of course, she told Trevor that cheating is her deal breaker. Meanwhile, Trevor's talking to Natasha and explaining that he does plan on telling Jamie and that it was his intention all along to tell her about the emotional cheating. So then we get the next date card, and the date card goes to Bree. She gets down on one knee, asks Chris to go out with her, and says that she feels like this is the first real thing that she's had since her engagement ended. They go to the Guitar Center and get to mess around with all the guitars and instruments alone together. They sing, have a really cute moment where they sing about the rose ceremony and picking each other. And then Bree talks to him about how her engagement ended and how much the breakup hurt her, but that she's excited and ready to see what their love could be like because she's falling in love with him and doesn't care that it's scaring her. So he responds by saying thank you to her for sharing her feelings and that he's falling in love with her too. So then they go back inside, he starts playing the piano and sings Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley, and I literally got the goosebumps with this. It was so freaking cute, and I really like Chris and Bree. I hope they make it all the way to the end, and I hope that they're still together. So then we go back to the house for another clip, and I do want to mention we do see the same exact outfits on them as Trevor and Jamie's date. So we do know that this is an older clip, but that it's being played after Bree and Chris's date for whatever reason. And we see Trevor go to talk to Jamie, and he explains the entire situation that he had with his ex to her so that she can hear it from him before she hears it from somebody else. And Jamie explains that how it affects her, and Trevor says that he doesn't want it to break them because he doesn't feel a connection with anyone else. So then Jamie says that she trusts the person that he is today and isn't going to judge him based on who he was almost 2 years ago. So boom, that's solved. That's all good, and we can be sure that Trevor and Jamie will stay together for a while to come. The next date that we see is Sheridan. He got the date card, and of course, as expected, he picks Julia. She admits that she knows that he's been zeroed in on her from the start, but that having all the attention on her makes her nervous because she is still interested in Brandon. They go to iHeartMedia and guest star in a radio show, and Sheridan, of course, talks about how much he admires Julia and how he's surprised that she even gives him the time of day. Of course, the radio host asked them to sing together, but before we see that, we go back to the house for a clip real quick, and Rudy goes to talk to Chris about how he feels about her because she's worried that she's not going to get a rose this week. She admits that she feels like she may have overreacted and that she's done this in her past 3 relationships which were all serious, so it's to be expected that this is probably just in her personality. So then we go back to Sheridan and Julia's date. They sing together, and we definitely see a connection there, and you can see how obsessed Sheridan really is with Julia, which makes me sad for what came next in the episode. We go back to the house, and then Rudy tries to hit a little bit on Ryan because she's panicking about not getting a rose and feels like there may be a connection there to explore. And we see two more girls come into the house, Mariana and Ruby. Mariana says she's looking for Brandon because she's interested in him already. Ruby's also interested in Brandon already. Savannah's already predicting that there's going to be drama because of Brandon. Mel goes to talk to Brandon because she's panicking now that there are 4 girls that are into him, apart from Julia, who is currently on a date with Sheridan, and they have a really weird encounter about love languages and physical touch and hugging and handshaking and all this weird stuff that not really sure why that even happened to begin with. It did feel really, really awkward, but whatever. Next date, Savannah gets the date card, and of course she chooses Brandon, and Mel's getting really emotional already, but Savannah and Brandon go to a jazz club. Savannah says that it's crazy that they were just talking about still talking to other people the other day, but that it's already solidifying for her. And then we cut back to the house real quick, and Julia talks to Sheridan, and Sheridan says that he's feeling good about Julia being serious with him and forgetting about Brandon. Meanwhile, Julia still wants closure with Brandon, so it gets kind of awkward there. And then we go back to the date, and Savannah and Brandon do an open mic. They sing together, really connect. Brandon says that singing with her shows a side of them that he wasn't seeing before, and now he feels like they're on the same page. And Savannah says that she's feeling confident going into the rose ceremony. So the next day, we see Julia go talk to Sheridan, and she tells him that she's going to be transparent because she still wants to be able to have other conversations with other guys like Brandon, and that she still likes him, but that it doesn't mean that she doesn't have feelings for Sheridan. So of course Sheridan's really hurt, and he was super caught off guard by it, but there's nothing he can do at that point other than do what he feels is best by him and, quote, listen to his heart. So then we cut to the cocktail party, and of course Chris Harrison tells everybody to listen to their hearts once again, and we immediately see Mel go talk to Brandon because of course we know that she's interested in him, and we see them kiss, but it did feel kind of awkward, and honestly it felt kind of one-sided to me. We see Savannah and Sheridan do a cheers to Julia and Brandon hanging out together, which was pretty funny. Julia tells Brandon that she's surprised he cares for Savannah, but she wants to do what's best for her and kisses him anyways. Natasha grabs Brian and says that she's been into him from the start and finds his nerdy look sexy, so they have a moment and make out. Rudy goes back to hit on Ryan and says that she wants to try kissing him and see how that feels, and she does it, but apparently it was really awkward, and she told Jamie that she didn't feel anything. So then Rudy goes back to Matt and tells him how she feels, and they have a really weird yet comfortable connection and kiss and moment, and I think it fits for their kind of dynamic, so that's probably why it works for them. And then automatically we cut to the rose ceremony, and the rose ceremony goes a little bit like this. Chris picks Bree, Trevor picks Jamie, Matt picks Rudy, Ryan picks Natasha, Danny picks Becca, Brandon picks Savannah, Gabe picks Ruby, Sheridan picks Julia. And that's the final rose that we see for the night. So, unfortunately, we gotta say goodbye to Mariana, who we had just met, Mel, who we all loved, and Cheyenne, who we loved, but unfortunately didn't get to see enough of. And then at the end, we do see a little bit of a clip where Julia tells us that apparently when Brandon hugged her, he told her that they can still figure things out since she's still here, and now we know that there will for sure be more drama between Brandon, Julia, Sheridan, Savannah, the whole lot of the group, and we can expect that next week there's going to be a whole ton of drama happening. So that's it for this quick and fast-paced video recapping the second episode of The Bachelor Presents Listen to Your Heart. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. But for now, this is it for Batch Buzz. See you next time, Bachelor Nation. Bye-bye.